Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters out there. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Jumoke Salami show. Okay, you know what, guys? Let's start this way. Let me tell you my full name. My name is Jumoke Salami. That is it. So you can call me Ajia Nahimat. Welcome to the most beautiful month in the year. Yes, and that month is the month of Ramadan. So it brings me to today's topic, which is character in Ramadan. So Ramadan is a period where the Muslim fast and it's the most beautiful month in the year. It is part of the 5 pillars of Islam. The Muslims are supposed to abide by those pillars, and Ramadan is one of the pillars of Islam. So I'm going to be rushing through the 5 pillars of Islam, and the first one is the Shahada, which means the declaration of faith. We have another one, which is Zakat, which means the alms giving. It is expected as Muslims to give to the poor. You get more when you give. It is expected of you to give to the poor, you give to the needy, you give to your neighbor, someone who does not have as much as you do. The third one is Salat, which is the prayer. Muslims are expected to pray 5 times daily, and we have the Zuri, Asri, Maghrib, Ishai. They have the timing, and it's expected that you don't even pray these prayers, even if it's 1 minute before the actual time. You're supposed to pray when it's the exact time. We also have fasting, and that is the beautiful month of Ramadan. I think if you don't get excited in Ramadan, I don't know why you're not excited, because guess what? That's the time where all prayers are answered. So come on, I'm going to say my prayers and I'm going to be answered. So why shouldn't I love this month? So fasting is one of the pillars of Islam. And the last one is pilgrimage. That is when you travel to the holy town called Mecca. And now there's a clause to that one. If God has blessed you enough to go, it is expected of you to do so. So that's the 5 pillars of Islam, and that's like a guideline for Muslims to know what to do and what not to do. So now the aim of Ramadan. Basically, I feel the aim of Ramadan is the time to grow spiritually with Almighty Allah and with your loved ones. It's a pure month. It's a beautiful month where people are staying for so many things just to get closer to Almighty Allah. They do that by fasting, by abstaining from so many things they love to do, like smoking, like drinking, like sexual intercourse between the hours of sunrise to sunset. So that's what we do for the next 30 days, and we expect that all prayers will be answered, inshallah. So it's a beautiful month, and it is expected that you keep it holy. Now it brings me down to why I'm talking about Ramadan. You know, during Ramadan, we will all agree that you see everything going peacefully. Even people, they don't get angry because they just feel like, it's the holy month, let me just go. You know, we tend to forgive easily during the month of Ramadan. Now, the problem is, I feel, why don't we take why don't we adopt this characterization we build? Because Almighty Allah has told us that Ramadan is a beautiful month. It's the period when your prayers are being answered. So you want to be holy. But after Ramadan, once it's gone, you go back to being arrogant. You go back to being loud. You go back to being unbearable. Why do we do that? Remember, our God watches us every time. So you cannot pretend. If you look forward to Ramadan because you know you're going to abstain now, and after Ramadan you're going to go back, who are you deceiving? Why are you starving yourself? And remember, Ramadan basically is not just for you to abstain from food. It means you abstain from the things that you love. If you love watching TV too much, it's the period to cut it off. If you love secular music too much, that's the period you should abstain yourself from that. Whatever thing you love so much. So it's not basically food. It is everything that you love so much. Put a stop to, or take it to the barest minimum. That is Ramadan. That is fasting. So I find it difficult, or I find it more painful when I get to see so many people leave their bad ways, become so righteous. You, in fact, you even want to be with them, you want to be around them. But once Ramadan is over, we are all going haywire in the streets of Lagos. I want to tell you that it's not a beautiful thing to do. Whatever thing you adapt during Ramadan, please try and take it beyond Ramadan, because you cannot scam God. He knows when your heart is pure, and you know when your sins are truly forgiven. It is when you know your sin, accept your sin, and promise never to go back to them again. So when you know your sin and you're abstaining for just 30 months, it's no joke. It's no joke. So abstain from your sin. That thing you're doing that you know you cannot share with someone. That thing you're doing that you know it is an abomination. That thing you know you're doing that is not expected of you. That thing you're doing that you know that as a child of God, as a child from a very strong Muslim home, you're not expected to be in such gathering. You're not expected to be doing that thing. Do not scam yourself nor deceive yourself to put it away during the fasting period and expect that after Ramadan you're going to go back to it and everything is just going to be fine. Please and please again, the adaptation of Ramadan, the beauty of Ramadan goes a long way. If you can continue like this, they say Ramadan is the period when prayers are answered. Do you ever think why? It is because every sin is cut to the barest minimum. Just take a look at the beer parlors in your area during Ramadan. It's almost empty. Look at the clubs, it's empty. That is because people are trying to connect with their maker. Now their prayers have been answered. My question is, don't you have prayers after Ramadan? Do you have to wait for next year for another Ramadan for you to continue praying, or for you to have accepted prayers? So why not take this habit that made Ramadan a beautiful and unique month out of that month and linger it all through the year, and see if whatever you lay your hands wouldn't prosper, and see whatever you ask from God, He wouldn't answer. So please, one thing I know for sure, I'm not a Muslim scholar, so I'm not here to tell you the do's and don'ts of Islam, but I'm here to let you know that Islam is beautiful. Ramadan is beautiful because of the uniqueness of the way things are during Ramadan. It is pure. So we want to see more of that Islam, more of that Ramadan nature, the character we exhibit during Ramadan. We want to see beyond Ramadan. And I pray that Almighty Allah will make it easy for you and I. So thank you guys so much on this beautiful episode. I love you guys so much, and I pray that everything we ask for in this beautiful month will be given to us by Almighty Allah in double fold. And please do not forget, it's the time you stretch hands to people, the time you give. And I would love to ask my fans for a favor. Please, if there is anything you want to give out, we need food to give to people, we need clothes, whatever you have, you can reach out to me on Instagram, send it to me. They will take it to the community and share it to people that really need this. Remember, if you stretch a hand to someone, so many fingers are also stretching back to you. Thank you guys so much for everything. I love you, and I will see you next time on another beautiful episode of Jumoke Salami's show. Ramadan Kareem, guys, and I remain your beautiful host, Adufe Omolowo Mugumaja, Maja Meji Were, Ara Ade Ajagbon, Ajagbon Giyopo, Ara Alambe, Ọmọ Ashire Welua, Ọmọ Nubigi ó gbé mi lọ, Ọmọ Pàntí ló ṣe ń làjà, ó dági dúró mọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀gọ̀, Ọmọ Ṣàkìtì. Thank you guys. Ramadan Kareem.